Social media. What is it anyway? According to Wikipedia, it's the means of interactions among people in which they create, share, and exchange information and ideas in virtual communities and networks. Wait, what?
Social media is so new, and to a certain extent, senior managers in corporations haven't grown up with social media. Therefore, they'll maybe not be comfortable with it, not fully understand it. They'll often see the more humorous or less sensible business use of it. But the reality is, there's a lot of serious information that can go on.
Although it may seem to many that social media is mainly about bored people tweeting or posting mundane life events such as,
"In the kitchen cooking rice. I think I got it right too."
Doing laundry and really bored.
Sick of sleeping alone.
Anyway, social media is much more than that. It can be a great channel for companies to spread and control their message directly to consumers, making it a very effective marketing tool. It also allows consumers to give you real-time feedback on your services and products, information that can be quite valuable for your brand strategy.
Social media could be considered in many ways as almost being an always-on litmus test or feedback mechanism on what consumers are thinking, what they're saying. Then organizations can use that as a listening tool.
This is a great thing if the conversations about your brand are positive. However, once a negative comment is launched into cyberspace, it stays there forever. And it can set off a chain reaction of comments, likes, and retweets that can become the worst brand reputation crisis your company may ever face.
The reality is that when a crisis or an incident breaks, it breaks quickly and spreads fast. And most organizations just fail to understand the dynamics of it and be prepared when a crisis breaks.
Because the truth is that any trivial, apparently benign comment can quickly snowball into a brand reputation disaster, even the funny ones.
New from the UK meat industry, 100% meat lasagna. Get it? Lasagna.
Recently we had the horse meat fraud, as it turned out, but people were not quite sure why it was occurring. In the initial phase, people are rather shocked and they're seeking information. And therefore, the rumour mill really gets going. And the challenge for organisations is rather like something rolling down the hillside, like the snowball gathering and gathering size as it goes down. It can almost become unstoppable.
And if your organization is not prepared to deal with a crisis quickly and effectively, the long-term consequences can be much more than just financial.
And of course, if we look at the financial consequences, especially in the food industry, in many cases there's a limited shelf life. Best before must be even before timescale. And in addition, when you're not completely sure what is and isn't contaminated, you've just got to remove that whole product from the stock, from the shelves, and probably destroy it. So the ramification on dealing with something after it has passed is expensive, but then equally expensive is trying to recover consumer confidence in your brand.
There's been lots of examples of where a crisis has occurred and the company's just been blindsided. Recently in the US was a form of recovery of meat that got a title that was rather negative. It was called pink slime. The consumers sort of perceived that as somehow not being 100% beef. It was negative, it was the fat, it was not really being fair to what they thought they were buying. The company was totally blindsided. They did try and win back the confidence of consumers, but because they weren't prepared for it, didn't hear it before it started to build up, they were always playing chase up.
The good news is that there are practices you can put into place so that your company is prepared to react effectively and confidently when a crisis may arise.
Consumers' confidence or lack of confidence in a brand can be significantly damaged quickly and in a short period of time. So it's the preparation, planning, having all your resources available, and actually monitoring what's going on with social media so that you can anticipate something happening and then be able to deploy before it gets out of hand.
In social media, it's really clear that preparation is going to be the difference between protecting your brand and reputation and potentially losing consumer trust, right? And that's really the same thing with food defense. You prepare ahead, you monitor ahead, and you respond immediately when things happen. At Tyco Integrated Security, we like to think of the food defense plan and a proactive food defense plan in the context of the 4 A's. It's simply to assess, access, alert, and audit. Assess all your vulnerabilities and make sure you have preventive controls put in place. Access is about protecting all of your vulnerabilities from food contamination and adulteration. Alert is to really put in place alerts such as video alerts and monitoring and supply chain alerts to prevent and respond to adulteration as quickly as possible. And lastly, it's about audit, to put in place audits that make sure that all of your plants are in compliance with the same standards that you expect to be happening to protect the consumer each and every day. The practices you put in place today will actually determine your reputation for tomorrow. In the end, a proactive food defense program is not only about the safety of the product that you protect, but it's about your company's brand and the reputation you're protecting for the long term. It's ultimately about gaining and maintaining consumer trust.